everybody.
Hey, bud. How you doing?
I'm doing
Good
good.
evening, sports fans.
Good evening, sports fans.
Thanks for taking my meme. I appreciate it. Always
Yeah,
love
no
when that
problem.
happens.
Are we ready to rumble?
I'm your host, DorkyDev. Today I'm joined by special guest BlackSheepSpicy. We're joined by Caver J and Toarn.
Who needs no introduction?
No, he's got Tornisms. That's all he needs.
I'm about to say, that just sounded really like underwhelming for some reason. It was like Black Sheep, Spicy,
been,
Caver J, Toarn.
Toarn has been on.
He dropped in energy, and by the time he got to Toarn, so really the only thing I'm thankful for is, hey, I'm not the lowest energy introduction.
I mean,
I love how
Fuck,
Jay is the only person with like 2 different names underneath him in the stream.
he has a separate Twitter handle from his Twitch handle.
Yeah.
So I have to make sure both are on there.
But
I can't just like
But getting back to my underwhelming intro,
get rid of
you
that.
just need like a
Because
sound
that
bit
actually
of
bugs
like
me.
nothing's wrong, I'm torn, that you can just like slam every time like I come in. That way,
Oh,
you can
wow.
ignore
Well, I
this
have a
whole-
couple sound bits that I have planned for it, so they're in the works. Since I can just grab my audio whenever. So
Awesome.
how's everyone's week been?
It's been all right, man.
It's been a
Not much to
long
report.
week.
My life's kind of boring. Not gonna lie to you.
I mean, we do the weekly thing every time, but like most of us say, not much has changed.
Wait, sorry. Hold on. Wait, backtrack a second.
Not much has changed.
Dev, I thought you were supposed to be vetting these guests before you bring them on. We need content. What are you doing? Like,
Well, it's not.
I
It's
don't
not
see
Dev's
YouTube.
fault
I
that
don't see YouTube vetting people listening. Well,
Dude,
actually, no.
my
Jay's
content
got
is
Jay
hacking
did
people.
something, so
If
I'll
you
say
want
Toarn.
content, it's probably illegal.
Wait,
Come
what
on.
did Jay do? Hang on,
Jay,
what did Jay do?
you're working on something. You worked on something. I'm proud of you.
I worked on something.
Yeah.
Oh, the.
Yeah.
we should
I
talk
love how
about that, though,
surprised
too.
he sounds. I worked on
Well, because
something.
I'm like,
What the fuck did I do?
it's like I don't know. Like my last big significant thing was I almost TOS'd our stream once. So like I don't know,
That was one time. One time.
and I was a lot drunker than I am currently. So.
Hello, Chasing, and hello, Frankie.
Oh God, Frankie.
God damn it, Frankie.
I wish I was ready for a soundbite on that moment.
That does need to be one.
God.
Toarn will be happy to give that one to you anytime. you
Yeah,
want.
just let me know when you want to record that. That'll actually make my life easier because I say it so often. I just be like, Dev.
like that's his payment. Is Toarn gets a copy of the sound file.
Yeah, just
I
send it
could
to me.
easily do that. It like that's the thing I love about this so far. Like I have the ability to just like edit our audios just on the fly without like changing anything. Like I don't have to go, like open up different sound bars, stuff like that. I don't have to even mess with OBS. It's just a dial right here for each thing on here.
Mhm.
And I can also have other people's streams up where no one can hear the stream that I'm listening to. But I can edit the volume of what I hear on that as well.
That's
So-
gotta be really awkward if you laugh at something on the stream.
I
And,
have
like,
it
no one
low
knows what's
enough that
going
I
on.
don't do that, but I have it at a level that like I can kind of tell who's still live, if that makes sense. Because like at the start of a stream, I'll open up several tabs for everyone
Yeah.
that I want to be, that I want to support, friends, content creators I have enjoyed over the years, and I want to, make sure that they have, the content they want, I want to make sure that they can keep doing this kind of stuff. So I have all their tabs up, and I can kind of tell when I'm ending the stream who's still live to kind of, see who I'm going to host kind of thing. So
That's pretty smart, actually.
it's great because I have one of the one thing I have, my only major complaint with the Go XLR right now for me is that for some reason, if I set something under chat or audio or under the system audio, it doesn't pick up on OBS, but everything else picks up on OBS, which is fine. So I just change, like my chat output goes through game file. So my games and chat stuff are all under one file for here.
Mhm.
And then my music is on a separate file entirely. Because I'm less likely to mess with game on here and chat audio on here than I am my music. Because I can leave my music running, turn that down, and then just turn the dial back up without tabbing out a game to like restart the music.
That's super nice. Yeah.
Oh, it's so great, and especially because I started using what is it? I started using the what are they? I can't remember the name. Pretzel music through Streamlabs.
Yeah.
Huh.
I will say it's not bad. They have a lot of good like free copyright music on there to use because they have they have artists they work with for that kind of stuff, and it's got some good stuff. Like there's like they have different sets on there. Like chill, hyped up kind of music. Happy, ambient, epic, kind of like adventure music, stuff like that. So like whatever I'm kind of doing that night, I just hit that playlist and then go from there. So only downside is I can't use it while I'm on this account because our account doesn't have that. Though I may set that up at some point. So just to have that set up because it's
Right.
nice. And that means everyone could use it. So from you all right?
Toarn? Like, I don't know if he's doing that just for the humor of it or if there's a legit problem.
That was definitely a bit. Like, as much as I'm sure our audience loves to hear about the technical difficulties involved in running a stream.
You know what? They do. All right. That's why we talk about it. I'll see you guys.
You say
Yeah,
so,
I
bro.
said it. Everyone else was thinking it. I was the one who said it.
Frankie agrees with Toarn. That needs to be put in the record books.
That's a fucking first.
That alone should tell you something.
That really should. That really absolutely should. All right, but has that spicy? Like, what's your deal, man? Like, what do you do? Let's of the
man.
stuff we talked about pre-stream. That's actually one we never asked yet.
Well, I do a lot of cybersecurity. I specialize in red team operations, so I'm a hacker basically. I do a lot of like
White hat?
security CTFs. Yeah, white hat for sure. Dude, if I'm a black hat, I wouldn't have my job. I wouldn't be on Twitch because I'd probably get banned. So that's kind of like the only route to go. You know what I mean?
You'll have to excuse me. I'm pretty drunk, so.
No, you're good. You're good. But
This is the last glass in the bottle. Sorry,
Well, yeah.
continue. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's cool. So, but basically, like a lot of what we do is like, let's hack a bank. No, God, what's wrong?
Welcome to the chat.
Honestly, no, I just do a lot of like security CTFs to where like you try to pop root on a system, and then it's a lot of content there. I want to work with Python a lot more, but the last time I did, my chat laughed at me, and that was a great time.
Do you stream your coding stuff?
I try to, but
You're
just
brave.
it's
Yeah.
not it's not a good time. It's not. I'll be real with you. So like I mostly just stick to CTFs and stuff because I know what I'm doing there, and I feel like I'm actually like helping people learn something with that because this is kind of a hard field to break into.
Yeah, I've actually streamed coding before back. I don't know if you even saw that, Jay, but back when our
No, this is the first time hearing about it. I think.
so me and Kaver here actually technically still own a business, although we haven't done much with it, developing mobile applications, which is far less prestigious. And back in the day when we were working on that, I streamed a couple of times trying to stream my coding involved with that. And it just, for those that aren't in the field, and even for those that are in the field, it's not really the kind of thing you want to watch. It wasn't good content. It wasn't like watching like a graphic design.
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
It's just,
dude, that shit's
It's not flashy. It's not flashy at all.
yeah.
when
No,
I was
so-
on HMD, our lead for that team, he does coding and stuff. He did that on stream. Though I would say his views for it. I think the thing is, people who like your content will kind of show up.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of no matter what. He had that core who would be there like. I want to say those nights he still at least had like 10 to 20 still. For still being, I want to say under 3,000 at the time. Follower wise, so there's a niche audience for it, but
Oh, there is. It's super, super niche. And the thing is with science and technology too, is like people go there to learn something.
exactly.
If you're learning something yourself, like if you don't have a solid foundation, no one's gonna watch you because they're not learning anything. They're not getting anything from it.
Yeah.
Why are they gonna be there? So
Yeah, I
you
agree with
have
that.
to know your shit.
I don't know if I would necessarily go to like. So I don't. There's a bit. I don't think I'm alone in this. Even though I am a coder, I am constantly having to look up stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I've never been like, hey, I need to go see a stream to figure out what I need to know. Because there's always a YouTube video or something on
That's fair.
like Stack Exchange. So I don't know if necessarily Twitch is the best platform for providing.
It's not so much trying to like learn a specific thing. It's more of like learning in a liberal arts sense. So it's
Mm.
like, oh, now I know kind of how to do this. You know what I mean? Like it's fascinating when someone
You know
knows
what?
their shit and they're working on it. It's
Well, yeah,
it's
and that's the
content.
thing. Like, I can see like
I can see that.
this kind of like I could see that category on Twitch being good for like for teachers to like if they want to teach not necessarily in a classroom setting, but like online classroom setting, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like just being able to essentially interact. Like chat asks you questions, as though they're like students, and you answer those questions. Making sure that everyone's kind of following along, making sure that they understand what's going on, kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. I have one friend that does that. The Cyber Mentor on Twitch. If you want to see some like real shit going on, go ahead and follow him. He does a lot of exactly what you're talking about. Just using Twitch as like an online classroom and like networking and that kind of thing.
That's cool.
It's fucking cool. Yeah, it's really cool. He's blown up too. I'm so proud of him.
That's good. I mean, like that's the thing. Like, like I'm like the other night when last week when I was on Curly Chris's show.
Yeah.
And then you and me were talking afterwards, and Toarn was talking, and you guys talking about the science and technology stuff you guys were talking about, and though half of it, if not more, went over my fucking head, it's still fascinating to hear people know what they're talking about, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah, for sure.
there's that like I don't understand what's going on, but it sounds really fucking cool.
There's like there's like an air of like mystique to it where it's like
There is. That's
I use-
actually
I use this shit every day and I have no idea how it works. Let's listen. You know what I mean?
that's actually a great way to describe it. The air of mystique. Because
Well,
that's
it's
the way I always viewed it. And then once I started learning it, and that air kind of dissipated, now it actually became even cooler to me because I was like, I know how it fucking works.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
And now then I see the air of mystique go over other people, and it's just great.
Well, it's kind of like
and then
when you
your
can
ego
speak
starts
it.
building, you're just like, oh no, I'm sorry.
Kinda-
Toarn, go ahead.
Oh no, you're fine. It's kind of like when you can like speak whenever someone around you is speaking another language, and you're like, "Oh man, like,
Yeah.
what I want to be in on this. I want to know what's
Oh,
being
dude, that's
said."
how I am at work. When anyone speaks a different language, I'm immediately like, I wish I knew another language. Like, that's one thing I wish I would have done while I was still in high school, at least, because the only thing we had was Spanish. But like, still, just to have that under my belt, like, just to be able to speak a different language. That is one thing I do like, because the speaking of that, my watch right here, my Fossil, has Google Translate on it.
Seriously?
Yeah, and my dad and
That's
I
kick-ass.
it's awesome. Me and my dad tried it out, and he said in German, he said, I am from Berlin in German. And I didn't know what he was saying because I don't know German, but I had a general idea of what he said. So when I flipped it back and it said I am from Berlin, I was like, is that what you actually said? He's like, yeah. I'm like, bro, that's so good. I don't have to pull up my phone if I'm in a situation somewhere else. I literally just have to have my watch on me and be like, hold on a second. Can you say what you're trying to say real quick? And I could translate stuff back into German. I could be like, hey, can I get directions to this place?
Right.
Back. And they have all the Google Translate stuff on there, but like it's so cool to see technology do that kind of stuff now too.
It's so powerful nowadays, man. Like the amount of shit that you can do. Like, yeah, speaking without a language barrier, even though you're speaking two completely different languages. Like, I also have seen motorcycle helmets with heads up displays built into them, so you can see like your speed, your GPS.
Yeah.
And they're also working with Google APIs, so you can actually see like people's phones in real time. So if there's like a blind corner or something, you can see if someone's behind there. It's so fucking cool.
And that's the thing. Like we got that going on. Like Google and Apple are both working on AR technologies. But we also have people working on LiDAR so that you can put that in the cars and essentially detect things around buildings before you get there, because light's able to essentially do things the speed of light. Like
People aren't really still working on LiDAR though. LiDAR has actually been like
Well, I mean, in the sense of
As someone who works with this kind of stuff, LiDAR is already done. It's been developed.
I know that. I'm more saying
It's
like
implementing it is kind of
implementing,
what
yeah,
is
like
still
finding the
being
ways
done at
to
this point.
implement it into things
Cave.
like
I'm about to say the
happening
biggest thing
convenient enough.
I've seen LiDAR go into is like, isn't it like speed traps with like police and stuff like that?
No, those are just still radar predominantly. At the
Oh,
moment.
really? Okay.
Yeah, the major
yeah.
thing right now is like GIS work. My dad does that. He uses LiDAR. So like they'll scan like mountain ranges and stuff like that just using LiDAR, or they'll scan streets and make maps
Okay.
for that.
Dude, or what was really cool about that, like massive cave systems.
Oh yeah, because you're able to just
Like,
essentially
to
send
the
a beam.
ridiculous amount of detail. Like I actually set it on a workshop with that once, and it's insane.
It's
It is
ridiculous.
really
Yeah,
good
it's
insane.
awesome. But the major thing that they want to try to do is essentially like for medical stuff. I just watched. If you guys don't watch slow mo, guys, you should. They just got to go to California Tech and go see essentially the fastest slow motion camera ever. That's able to capture the speed of light. Like you could see light.
I've seen
move
that.
in it.
I've seen
It's
that.
so fucking cool. And then
Nuts.
what they got to do is like talk to a guy and explain what they want to be able to implement into, which is like one, medically, like be able to scan people with light so that you can see, you know, wounds and stuff like that and see how they're healing. And then, you know, other things like let's talk like for police and stuff like that. If they're coming up on a corner, they can just use a LiDAR thing and know what's around the corner instead of walking into gunfire or something like that. Or, you know,
That's so rad.
it's crazy. Like, because there's surveillance implications, there's medical implications, there's driving. If your car has LiDAR on it and you're driving and suddenly, you know around this corner behind this, you know, big ass Hummer, there's a little kid about to run out. The car, even if it's on auto drive, it's able to be aware of these things now, so that, you know, essentially the entire situation isn't like, you don't have to panic drive, essentially. Like, you know, kid just runs out, you have to hit the brakes really fast and hope you don't hit him. Instead, the car's aware of this, so it can slow down preemptively in case the kid goes running out to the street.
Right.
So that
Wait, are you guys saying that you think that LiDAR can look around corners before you get to
their
it?
plan is to try to use LiDAR to, like, essentially, you know, transmit information to a system so that if, you know, that's what they want to work on at Caltech.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look into that.
So LiDAR's LiDAR is actually worse than radar when it comes to looking around corners.
That's true, but
and
they want to make it better.
Well, they do want to make it better, but so the way LiDAR works is it's essentially just cameras. So, but it's smarter cameras than what we've got now. It's cameras that can actually like understand what things are. That's all LiDAR is. And if you can't see around a corner, LiDAR can't look around a corner because light travels in a straight line. It doesn't. It does bounce. So like you could theoretically see shadows, but ultimately LiDAR is line of sight. It's by definition that's how light works. So like again, LiDAR is faster than radar, but you can't look around corners before you get past the corner, if that makes sense.
That's true, but like they're working on, they want to work on ways to be able to kind of.
Well, the way that they do that in like the cave system mapping is there's sensor A in this passage here. Sensor B is as far as they can from sensor A, but they can't do any real sharp stuff, so it has to be as straight as they can. It can
Right,
go
they have to maintain
kind
line
of-
of sight.
if it's a somewhat serpentine kind of passage, it can work to an extent from the way I understood about it, but they can't like go 90-degree corners. Like, so they'll go from the straight to the corner, take a reading, then from the corner to the other place, take a reading, and
What
that's
I was kind of
essentially-
thinking of was the fact that, like, imagine if we had drones that had that technology on them, right? Like little, like, small, kind of, you know, your standard size, like the standard drone, right, that people can buy at home.
Yeah.
But
Just
it
like a
has
Yeah.
that- and you have it go through
Yeah,
different windows.
the United States Air Force doesn't have that. That's not
Shut
a
up!
thing.
Shut up! I'm just explaining.
I
something.
definitely didn't see those on deployment when
I know
that,
but
that was
I
not
get
a
it.
thing.
Listen here, Toarn. Listen here. Give me a second. But using it with like having them set up with like LiDAR so that, you know, you can just kind of go through all the have it go through, pass by the windows of the building real quick, and essentially take those images as fast as it can, because it's got, as fast as the drone can move, the pictures are going to go a lot faster because it's literally capturing the speed of light. And essentially have at least the outer layer of that building, what's there, if that makes sense. Who's where and what. And you can kind of pick out civilians from that area and stuff like that, or understand if they're further in. Same thing if you have pull in a video game, it's like a Rainbow Six drone, kind of like that, with that kind of information. Instead of just using a live feed, you may be able to modify it so that it hides better, but it only captures light, if that makes sense.
Well, determining civilians is a very different thing. So
it's tough,
if you're
I know, but if you have,
so that falls more into the AI standpoint.
that's true.
Because they have to be able to recognize weapons in the hands of individuals and such, and be able to infer things, and that's a whole different thing. Being able to fly past something and take a picture, and then provide that to an intelligence analyst, who then determines who needs to be shot and who doesn't, which is how things kind of work right now. It's not really viable to try and make a computer make that decision yet, because the time you maybe add 30 seconds to have someone else have the team leader look at the pictures that the flyby gives you and determine who's a threat and who's not, as opposed to try and get a computer to do that, which is not yet. It's very close, but not yet in our capability.
I was about to say, AI, at least the AI that I've been working with for work, is still pretty much just more along the lines of teaching a dog the difference between shapes.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally training a dog. It's kind of funny.
Theoretically, modern AI could do that, determine who's a threat, but it's still in the experimental stage. It's not. And when you're talking about deciding who to shoot and who not to shoot, that's not the kind of technology you want to rely on.
I was about to say the highest margin of error I've seen is 98%, I think, 99% or something like that. So it's it's gotta be 99.9%, because if you fuck up once, that's a whole controversy right there.
Yep,
just
exactly.
really bad PR. Just leave it to an intelligence analyst, man. Honestly.
Yeah. Like I said, right? If it would be one thing if you would have to wait hours and hours to get feedback from an intelligence analyst, but the way operations work is there's always one on hand. So you have to wait 20 seconds for an analyst to look at the picture and be like, okay, yeah, this is who you go after. This is where they're at. And then they feed that information to the team and the team goes in. So
Right.
So the risk is too high for the added time benefit of 20 seconds, which is all you would get.
Yeah.
So it's not worth it yet. Eventually, the reliability of AI will be to the point that they're actually better than humans at determining who's a threat.
That'll be
but
fun.
we're not there yet.
Yeah, that's when Skynet takes over.
Who's
Yep,
ready for singularity?
exactly.
Who's ready for the singularity? That's
And that's where Mans comes in. Fuck yeah.
See, that's for me. That's why I joke about it. But every time I use Google, I always click it afterwards and be like, "Thank you," because when the machine overlords take over and they're like, "You know what? You were polite. You get to live." I don't immediately have to die during the machine uprising. So
Yeah, it's immediately die. Yeah, you'll just be herded into the cattle group.
I get to become a battery because that makes sense in the world.
Yeah,
of Matrix.
I was about to
God,
say, yeah. Next thing you know, you'll become a power source, bud.
So dumb. That was the Wachowski siblings wanted to make that, them computers, but they're like, no. The studio's like, batteries make more sense. In what fucking world does making a human into a battery over a computer make more sense?
Wait, sorry, I missed that. What?
Matrix.
Dude, yeah. Matrix, because people in that movie are batteries. That's why they're in those things.
Dude, it's that was the fucking early 2000s or late 19.
Yeah, everything's stupid in the early.
first one was
That's
late
a well-established fact.
First one
know.
was late 1990.
Literacy rate of the United States when the first Matrix came out was 75%. A quarter of the country couldn't read. Don't quote me on that. but you know what I mean. It was a different. The internet wasn't even really a thing when the Matrix came out.
That's the thing.
I was
That's,
about
they
to
were really
say
ahead
this
their
is
time.
the same. this is the same era that thought Wesley Snipes was a good actor. So
He's still a good Blade. I'll defend that.
Blade,
Or
I-
Keanu Reeves. For
I
that
have
matter.
really, I
Hey,
have
Keanu
really
Reeves
strange
isn't a
feelings
bad
about Blade.
actor. He's just, you know,
No,
very one.
no,
he's one pitch.
I will fight this battle every day. Keanu Reeves is a great stuntman. He is not a good actor.
Tell that to Bill and Ted, bro.
Dude, like, how good of an actor do you have to be to act stoned? Ugh.
Well, see, what's great in 2019
Rock
is that
music.
you don't have to ask. You don't have to act. You can
You
just
just
get
say-
stoned.
You just have to
That's
do.
true.
Your,
Yeah, and
Make
it's
you
legal
watch
on
it,
stage
dude.
now.
Yeah.
you just all you have to do to like do
Progress.
Bill and Ted or whatever is do your best Trump impression, and then you're. That's all you have to do. And now that I've said it, you know it's true, don't you? That's why no one's responding. Everyone knows it's true.
I actually don't know who Bill and Ted is. So
Well,
I'm
you need to
kinda
watch
mad.
it. You need to watch Bill and Ted. It's
All right, I'll put it on my list.
dude. Bill and Ted 1 and 2 are both really fucking good. I love them.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I grew up. watching them.
The third one got announced.
Yeah, they're officially working on it. I think
Yep.
pretty much everyone's coming back that's still alive. So
Wow.
well, I can't remember his name, but the guy who plays the dude who travels back to Bill and Ted, he did pass away, but they're gonna do a tribute to him in the film. So
I just don't know why anyone would be excited about that filth. I'm waiting for Princess Diaries 3. That's just, that's the real end of a trilogy that we're all looking
So
for.
we were talking. Chat was talking about bans and such. I think we actually just heard our first actual bannable offense. So if we could just make that happen, please.
yep.
Get rid of Toarn right now.
Oh, I was like scanning chat. I was like, is anyone like saying the N-word? What are you talking? Like, I completely did not realize what you're.
So, first day of baseball, guys. It's great. Mariners last I checked, they were winning. I'm just gonna check the score real quick. And just change topics real quick.
How Dev is trying.
Yeah, 4-8. That's great. Yeah, I can take that fucking hat off. I love the Mariners, but that hat is too. Okay, is it weird that I bought that hat maybe 2 years ago, and it's already too small?
I think it's weird you bought the hat.
Why is your head expanding?
I don't know, man. Like, I don't know anyone else whose head has expanded after the age of 20. Like,
Dude,
You know,
Okay.
generally people getting a big head used to be a figurative kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm about to say now it's
We've called him boss one too many times, Caleb.
Damn it.
Jesus Christ.
We've done it to ourselves.
Dude, okay.
Sorry,
so-
Dev. We'll split the cost of your next hat. It's our fault. We'll do
thank
it.
you. I'll just take it out of your pay.
So I'll be real with you guys though.
You've
I'll be
already
real with you.
stolen our pay for the
I
stream.
haven't stolen your pay. I said,
Let's
okay, what
say-
do you want to do with it?
Well, here's the thing. We haven't got it yet. So in essence, like,
I haven't even gotten it yet. The fuck are you talking about?
Wait, we're getting paid?
No.
wait, hang on. No, wait.
No,
wait.
Black
This is
Sheep.
why he's on the stream, Dev? What did you promise him? This is
We
why he's on
are-
the stream.
We
After
are
the
getting
stream-
paid. Me and Caver are getting paid.
See ya.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right,
Jesus
cool.
Christ.
Thought he'd never leave.
I'm about to say now the real hosts can take over. Huh?
I'm just saying, I read that article about that Japanese CEO $1 a year, and I'm expecting Dev to live up to that hype. Like-
Japanese.
Fuck are you talking about? Fuck.
See, I knew that'd bring him back.
But no,
Fuck,
like,
man.
the thing we're pretty like myself and the other hosts, 2 of them being here, I pretty much said we're gonna use the money to make the streams better. That's just what we want to do because we like all 3 of our shows. Like, T-Pop is doing really well right now, which is awesome. The style's good. You guys got a logo now, which looks really good. I like it. I like it. And Critically Casual's doing good. We're having fun with the movie reviews and stuff like that. And then there's this one, which which is easier to bring guests on, like BlackSheepSpicy. So we want to make sure this works. So,
True
it's
that.
kind of what we want to do with it because
And we've got some like T-pops. I don't know how Critically Casual is going or this because I'm not like a proper host of it. But like T-pop, we've got some like good things in the works. Like we talked about it yesterday specifically.
we do have you guys are aware of the, like these two are aware, but we for Critically Casual, our Sunday show at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, is working on something special for next month. And if you could
really
piece
subtle
things-
plug.
Shut
Really
up.
nice.
And if you're able to piece things together, you're gonna know what it's probably for. But we want to do something special for it. So we got that in the works for that, and then we're also working on this is actually a topic I want to bring up because they announced it. Now that they have officially said that it's affiliates are gonna start getting it probably I want to say April, May. They started the co-stream stuff on Twitch now.
Oh, are we announcing the new show? Is that what's happening right now?
Mine is
Am I
fucking
wit-
well.
Am I witnessing history right now?
You
Yes.
are.
You are.
You are.
We don't have a
I'm
logo
hard.
for it yet. We're gonna work
so-
on it,
I'm a
but
part of it. I'm so happy.
we are going to be doing a show called Hardcore Gaming, because
Well, you see what we did there because it's like hardcore gaming, but we're har har, so it's hardcore. It's.
Toarn,
thanks,
shut up.
Toarn. But the plan is so that we have all of our perspectives on it. I wanted to wait until co-streaming was officially starting to be out there, because it works really well if one of us hosts from this channel and the others of us that are going to be part of that stream have our streams as well with it, because that equals more exposure for this channel, which equals more exposure for everyone involved. We'll probably have guests on there easily because gameplay's fun, especially when you have people you don't normally play with, because you can, tomfoolery can happen with that. And there's a lot of games that we plan on doing, from just standard party games like Stick Fight, Gang Beast, stuff like that, to other stuff like, there may be a game that was announced today that we may look at doing for the channel itself. Who knows? If any big AAA games were announced today. I don't know of any big AAA games that was announced today, but, it could have happened. So, there's all that stuff, and it's just gonna be, it's gonna be nice.
Stop stealing T-pop's content, goddammit.
I'm not stealing it. I didn't talk about said game. I just said that there's gonna be a lot of GTFO, Get the Fuck Out, which is a game that Steven, Jay, and I saw get announced at E3 last year. Would be one that would be really fun for us to do. So there's a lot of content that we're like, there's a lot of games out there.
Wow,
for us
I'm
to
glad you
explore.
remembered that one. I actually didn't remember that one.
I remember that one because I saw it. I'm like, that's a scary game. I hate scary games. We're gonna fucking play it. So yeah, no, hardcore gaming, or hardcore game night is the name of the.
Guys, I'm hesitant about the direction our chat is heading.
What do you expect? This is.
I've never
Look.
been more excited.
Man,
There's an ass ruining section on Pornhub now. Holy shit! Wait, give me a fucking second. Where is it? There it is.
God damn it,
So-
Jason!
actually, no. Look at the chat. This is actually Frankie's and Toarn's fault.
Oh, you guys!
Crazy.
Never
Like,
mind, Jason. You're in the clear.
Chasing
Sorry,
has
I
contributed.
assumed I didn't read all the way up. My bad. That's my bad.
Frankie and Toarn's fault right now.
My bad, Chasing. I assumed from what normally my chat devolves into. I'm joking, by the way. It's hilarious. But it's just very easy to like. It's literally a thing in my streams now. At least one time per night, I'm like, God damn it, Chasing, because of just random shit that is said in my chat. I love it, and it's hilarious. But it's just one of those things that I have to go like, oh, kind of thing. Just I have to present myself as higher than this.
Those bastards lied to me. There ain't no ass ruining section on Pornhub. Those bastards lied to me.
Fantastic.
What?
What is that rule, like 39 or something, that if it does on the internet, you have to make it?
Rule 34.
Rule 34. All right, Black
If it's
Sheep,
on-
you're up.
If If it's on the internet, if it exists, there's porn of it. Is the rule?
Yeah, you're the one who found that ass ruining doesn't exist, so therefore you have to make it exist. That's how this works.
I mean, who's volunteering, man?
It doesn't matter who's volunteering. You're the one who found the discrepancy.
No,
Yeah, I know, but
It's
that
your
is
responsibility.
not at
It takes two.
Like-
It takes two to ruin Toarn.
all.
I mean, you can do solo ass.
That technically has already been done, unfortunately.
Apparently not.
No, solo.
Pioneers.
It-
You could have been trailblazers and you missed your opportunity.
no,
Oh my god.
Why
You
am I-
actually,
why am I
break-
adding this?
You're breaking J, and that never happens. Holy shit!
I'm just gonna sit here and drink. now.
What the
Because-
fuck?
Whoa, Dev. Apparently, you do not know Jay because
No, he doesn't
breaking
break.
Jay
On,
is
he doesn't break on this podcast though.
well. It usually
This has
doesn't
never
go this
happened
far.
on this podcast.
This has
I think
happened
this
on
is
other
Like,
podcasts.
believe it or not,
Similar
you
things
just
have
as
happened
it
on
may
this
be, it was
podcast.
kind of a safe space, baby.
Like IRL in me and Jay's and Soy's friend group, like breaking Jay with his
Oh my god.
virgin mind is a daily occurrence. He's so innocent.
He hasn't seen the world. He needs to take an Aladdin.
He
One of
needs
Aladdin's
to
magic
find
rides.
some ass ruining porn to bring his innocence.
No, that I do not need.
He doesn't even need the porn. He needs like actual some ass ruining in his life. Like a wake up call.
He just needs to get the full effect, man. Just get that magic carpet ride. Show you the world.
I can show you the world.
Well, not with you, I'm not. Other times,
Flying high through your ass.
like, you're looking for
Shining,
your creative
shimmering,
outlet right now. I ain't doing it.
glistening.
Just watch him slowly die inside while he's like trying to still control.
Hold on. I'm gonna call something out real quick. You know what's gonna be hilarious is when Steven gets to this point editing the video when he's trying to, because he watches through most of it and tries to figure out the title to the show, and he gets to this point and he's gonna be like, "Oh fuck." How the fuck am I gonna put this on YouTube?
I think Chasing just provided the name of the video though. Breaking J. That's what it used to be. I think it's better than Breaking J in. Like that's.
Oh my god.
broke Jay Mountain. Honestly, I
Or
like
broke
Breaking
back
Jay.
Jay.
God damn it! I have to agree with him now. Is the thing.
Broke back Jay.
No, Breaking
Oh,
J. Like if the title has to be in this theme, like I like Toarn's idea. I like Chase's
Yeah,
idea because I see the one
yeah,
type of
yeah.
Jack.
Yeah, Toarn's idea is a lot better.
I've shared a bed with Jay far too often to like call it Brokeback Jay. like that's just.
Oh my god.
Where did,
Boys,
where
we're like
did you take me, DorkyDev? How did I
we're
get
not
here?
we're not enough beers in, boys. So,
I'm not even fucking drinking.
Speak for yourself, gentlemen.
I feel like that's a poor life choice right now, Dev.
man.
I gotta work tomorrow, so.
I do too. I now no longer give a fuck.
Fair
We have
enough.
passed the threshold. We have passed the threshold of responsibility.
I haven't shown up hungover at this job yet, so let's go.
It's all abyss from
I've
here,
actually
ladies
never,
and gentlemen.
I've never shown up at a job hungover. Like,
I have twice.
How'd it go?
It was horrible.
wasn't one of them after one of our streams?
No, actually.
Okay, because there was one of those
No.
nights where
No, because that stream was on a Friday.
Oh yeah, that was back when we were still on Fridays. That's
Or
right.
it would have been, and
Right.
it would have been bad. Fun fact, that was the stream I almost TOS'd us, so.
It was
So-
borderline.
I think it was probably, it wasn't borderline.
So back in my Air Force days, I actually showed up hungover like a lot, but I was not alone because we had a cheat.
A cheat.
Yes, we actually had to cheat.
Were you the type of people that injected saline before you went to work when you had like a hungover?
Okay, so not saline, but you are on the right track. So, if you don't know, if you breathe pure O2, so like oxygen is actually only like 15 or 20% of our atmosphere, but if you breathe pure O2, you'll sober up in like that. And on our airplanes, we have O2 systems for when they go so high that they need to actually breathe oxygen. And so if you were hungover, you just show up to work and jump on the airplane and throw a mask on and breathe pure O2 for 30 seconds, and you're freaking good to go. You're fucking hypothermic. Like you're on it.
Won't that give you like hyperoxia if you're not careful?
Yeah, if you do too much of it, you'll become hypoxic, and that's what I meant to say. Not hypothermic, but hypoxic.
Yeah.
If you do too much of it, it will kill you.
Jesus Christ.
Which is why, like, every time you see in the movies, which they like pull their mask off, you don't, because that's pure O2. It's not like proper air. It's pure O2 that's coming through the mask. But yeah, if you breathe like 30 seconds of that shit, it boosts your metabolism for the entire time, and you burn through all the alcohol.
Any convention I go to, if I end up with a hangover, because I've never ended up with a hangover at a convention, even though I've gotten blitzed out of my mind. If it happens, all I need to do is just find an O2 bar, which exists in California. So Twitchcon.
Yeah, no, if that's a thing, like this is the first time I've heard of it, but if that's a thing,
there are oxygen bars.
Yeah, that'll work for you.
There are places like that give you flavored
I
oxygen.
don't know if I'm amazed or pissed off at that.
I am both, honestly. I'm a little bit of both.
That's not even fair.
Like we used to like party with pilots like the night before. Like anytime we would TDY to Vegas, TDY means like a business trip, like you go to do an air show or something. We would go to Vegas for a few weeks, and like so go to Vegas, party, and then like the next day you jump on the airplane and fly home, and the pilots would show up like hammered as fuck, and they'd be like, all right, let's go, everyone get on the plane. And you're like, maybe you should take another shot, sir. Like we don't know, we want to.
Stardust brings up a good point. It's a you might die, but you won't be hungover.
Like I saw you doing body shots.
That would mean you die happy, right?
Woman.
That's what I'm hearing.
Well, so much for 8 hours bottle of throttle. Jesus Christ. This isn't FAA approved.
Hey, you're on an airplane and you're drunk as shit.
If you ever do your research, dying by hypoxia is one of the best ways to go. It's a fun time. And so yeah.
You know, that a slightly morbid turn.
You know what you got? What happens now? Next time you're on an airplane, it's about to crash, and they pop down, and you're just drunk as shit. You could sober up before it happens.
Why would you want to sober up during that?
I don't know.
Like if you're already drunk as shit and the plane's going down, I feel you could at least, maybe somewhat enjoy your last moments. Because if you die, you're not gonna get hungovers.
Like everyone is screaming as the plane is falling. You're like, stewardess, can I get another one of those little bottles of Jack? Thank you. Yeah, bring it over.
It's like, or it's just like you just think it's the best ride ever. Like woo! Like,
you bought one of the bottles at like one of the souvenir shops inside the airport. Yeah, this is good on the plane. I brought my own booze.
I'm prepared. Always be prepared.
B.O.B. plane.
Who the fuck is Bobble?
I don't know.
Frankie's Bobble.
Okay, I was trying to decrypt what the fuck he just typed. And...
Frankie, is that like your pet name? What is that?
No, at TwitchCon last year, there's a video that surfaced of Frankie after tequila. His head, because the dude is 6'4", I think. And he's scrawny as fuck. So he's kind of got the nickname of a giraffe as well, because he's really
I'm about
tall.
to say, I believe the exact phrase that was described to me about Frankie was lanky giraffe motherfucker.
Yes.
Like that is.
So imagine him.
What I've been
He's got a long neck. So all of a sudden, imagine this scrawny ass motherfucker. All of a sudden, like tequila. First time, like this is the first weekend he's ever actually gone somewhat hard drinking wise with a bunch of us delinquents. And suddenly at this table, I see Frankie doing this.
Oh boy.
His shoulders aren't even moving.
No.
Like
Oh,
his
no.
head is taking his body with him. So I'm sitting next to him like this, holding his shoulder, trying to keep him up, and I'm busting up at this point because I'm like freaking. Because I'm also like I'm drunk, but like so seeing this hilarious shit happening, I have to keep somewhat composed to keep him alive at this point. Because if I let him go, he's going. So I'm sitting here laughing my ass off, holding him. Our other friends across the table start fucking filming it on Snapchat.
Oh, no.
So all you see is, and me just like turned like this, laughing my ass off.
Christ.
It was fucking pristine.
Dude, I can't wait for TwitchCon this year,
Frankie,
honestly.
Frankie makes a point right now.
Dude, Black Sheep, I need to add you on. I need to add you on Twitter. What's your Twitter? Because we need to meet up at TwitchCon.
Wow, it's almost like my Twitter is on the screen right now. I'm BlackSheepSpicy.
I'm pretty fucking drunk, which both explains why I didn't realize such an obvious thing, and also why I'm going to forgive you being an ass about it.
So when you say forgive him for being an ass about it, you mean forgive him for literally going par for the course on this?
Caver, shut the fuck up. You're the nice guy. That's your role. Don't be a dick.
Not when I'm not the target.
Fucking fantastic.
Stay in your fucking lane, Caver.
No, but real dude, yeah.
Kidding me? I'm too drunk to drive right now.
I'm trying so hard to make TwitchCon happen. I'll let you know if it actually does. It's kind of up in the air right now. But I'm trying my damnedest right now, man.
Dude, I'm fucking going. I need to go. Like it's
You know,
last year is such an experience that I don't want to like not do that again because it was something else because I went to PAX South that same year. I got both the tags right there, the TwitchCon and PAX South. And that was my first convention. It was a fucking blast, and I'm like, I'm gonna try to go to as many of these as I can now. And so like this year I might go to RTX. I'm gonna go to PAX West because that's literally just like a 3-hour drive for me.
RTX, that's the Rooster Teeth one, isn't it?
Yeah.
They still do that?
They've been doing it every year since they started it.
Really?
Well, I mean, Rooster Teeth has taken off at this point. Like, they are like the internet production company at this point. They just like their latest show, Genlock, had fucking Michael B. Jordan, Dakota Fanning, David Tennant, Arisa Williams, I think is how you say your name, the Arya from Game of Thrones.
What?
It had a star-studded cast.
And these are the same people that did Red
Maisie
versus
Williams, bro.
Macy Williams. Okay, thank you. Thank
What
you.
the
I'll say
fuck,
like
dude?
from all I didn't hear you say Arya fully, and all I heard was from Game of Thrones. I said, wait a minute.
I fucked up. Okay, my bad. I'm going off the top of my
I
head.
know most of these people.
Like they did, and it was a mech show that did, and it did really good. It was fucking awesome, and I loved it. Ruby's still going strong. There are a lot of people who say that the show's not as good as it used to, which is understandable due to the fact that like some of the stuff that happened within Rooster Teeth, like Monty Ohm passed away. Like the show isn't going to be exactly what it was supposed to be. But the fact that they're keeping that legacy alive, I do appreciate. And they're trying their best with it. And I still enjoy the show, so I'm still watching it. I'm behind on Red versus Blue, but there's also a lot of shows like Achievement Hunter has like 3 shows on there now.
Can we appreciate Red versus Blue for a minute? Because that
Oh my
was
God.
my first ever exposure
Same.
to Rooster Teeth.
Well, that's the one that
Like,
started it all, man.
The intro. I
Oh,
mean,
and
that
it's
is
great. The
something
fact
that will
it is
stick
the
You ever wonder why
longest
we're here?
running.
ever.
You ever wonder why we're
Yes.
here? You're muted. And that, like, it is the longest running web series on the internet. I think they're in season 15 or 16 now. I think.
Wait, what show?
Red versus Blue.
It's still going?
It's still going.
Oh yeah.
What
Yep.
the fuck?
They
dude?
go crazy with it now too. Like there's like time dimension hopping. It's balls to the walls now.
Well, they've got that Netflix. They've got that Netflix budget now, man. Like,
Well,
They're
they
on
do.
Netflix?
Well,
Yeah,
actually, Red vs.
did you-
Blue and Ruby is all on Netflix too.
did you not know
What?
they're on Netflix? Yeah.
No, I had no
and,
fucking
and the
clue,
fact that
dude.
they have
He is now
first members.
he is now thankful for being on this podcast for a whole different set of reasons.
They also have
Holy
they
shit,
also
man.
have the first subscription on there, which I'm a first member. He's like, it was one of those things that I knew I was gonna do because they had a lot of new shows coming out that were gonna be first exclusives. Like Achievement Hunter does the ghost hunting show now. They have a thing called Weird Play. Dude, the ghost hunting show is hilarious. You got Theater Mode, which is like their kind of own version of Mystery Science Theater 3000. It's kind of their own kind of version of that, where they watch campy, dumb movies, play a drinking game, and Jeremy and Michael get drunk off their asses when they're on there, and it's fucking fantastic. Like Rooster Teeth, also, you know, like they encompass the Let's Play family, which is like Funhouse, Sugar Pine 7, Cow Chop, Kind of Funny, Screw Attack, which is now just Death Battle. Because the Screw Attack title is kind of on the shelf now because they were kind of just doing Death Battle content, so they're like, we're just gonna change the name to just Death Battle because this isn't Screw Attack anymore. This is just Death Battle. So we're gonna shelve the name for the time being until we figure out something to do with it. Game Attack, which is what Screw Attack, Craig and Bolin went off and did. They have Kryken, who's a streamer and YouTuber. He's under them. Chilled Chaos, part of the Derp crew. He's under Rooster Teeth now. The fact, like, just looking at the scope of things they do now is insane. They have 2 feature-length films. They have a bunch of docu-series that they've started, which are all really good. And it's just the amount of content that channel has created. Like, if you like, in the scope of everything it does, they brought back Inside Gaming from IGN Machinima. After Machinima closed, Rooster Teeth picked up the assets and started posting all of the old Machinima stuff and restarted Inside Gaming to replace the No. So you have the Funhouse crew who used to do Inside Gaming now doing this Inside Gaming again. Like, it's nuts to look at this just internet empire. Is the way to put it.
I'm about to say, yeah, shit.
They are giant, and it's so cool having seen them go from you ever wonder why we're here
To this,
now.
yeah, to this literal, like,
15
virtual
fucking
conglomerate.
years.
Speaking of things that probably shouldn't still exist,
No, Rooster Teeth should exist. They've earned it.
apparently Homestar Runner is still a thing.
It is. I watch Strong Bad Email all the time.
Yeah, like they just uploaded yesterday. It's still
Yeah,
a fucking thing.
it's still a fucking thing.
I just found this out like while you were on your spiel, Dev. Like because
The 90s are still alive. Yeah,
Oh my god.
it's so good. It's so good.
Oh,
But like,
holy
it's,
fuck.
it's so cool to see, like, as someone who, you know, essentially we grew up in the era of just finding out what the internet is, right?
Yeah, we're the transition generation.
We are the transition generation. And seeing some of the stuff that started this, like, Rooster Teeth wasn't on YouTube when it started. It was just
No.
on roosterteeth.com. And then it was on YouTube. And just grew and grew into this just
Yep.
insane just concept to think about. Because, like, their plan is to create an entire actual, like, headquarters building in Austin now. Like, the Rooster Teeth building. Because they're still leaving.
Seriously?
That's their plan. They talked about it in an interview after about, you know, their 15 years on the internet, like, and they said to the future, and they showed like a model version of what the building would look like. Essentially, it's like
Holy
Google
shit.
headquarters, but Rooster
Holy
Teeth,
shit.
right? Like, because I mean, like, they have a huge animation staff that had to actually leave the building they were at due to the fact of how huge it got. They have they have their Rooster Teeth team that's doing the Rooster Teeth videos. So they restarted RT Life and RT Shorts. They just started those back up again, and they're still, in my opinion, as good as they were before. So, yeah, that's good. It's just essentially a new cast for it. And so they have that building for that. They have the Achievement Hunter group in one building. They have the live part, which, you know, does their podcasts, their shows, all of that stuff. They have that inside that building. It's just the scope of things, like trying to comprehend it all. Plus, they also have a bunch of offices there as well for research for other stuff. They have, the editing rooms for certain channels there. Like, it's just the amount of people who work for Rooster Teeth now. When it started with just fucking 6 dudes?
Yeah.
It's nuts.
That's insane, man. And like I guess they came on the scene at like the prime time.
It really
because when they were around, yeah, like no one else was doing it. No one even knew what it was, like YouTube or anything like that. Media creation on the internet.
I mean, like, you have icons like him. You have icons like Philly D is starting up his news company. Rogue Rocket News. He just announced today that they are close to getting their own news site up and running now.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Which is nuts. Like, seeing the growth of certain channels that are just veterans of the industry take off. Like, even though he's kind of controversial right now after the weird shit that the internet is bringing up, but seeing Shane Dawson go from the dude who does cringy ass shit on the internet to doing full-fledged documentary style shit on YouTube is nuts. Like, that's not something you would have seen coming on there. It's like seeing just how everything has kind of evolved at this point is just fucking cool.
Sorry.
So I don't know. It's inspirational to want to push people to want to do that kind of stuff now too. Like, I mean,
it's like, like with the advent of the internet, like getting into this industry has gotten worlds easier. Before you had to go network at like a TV company or some shit. You had to go and work for them. Like, and if you wanted to start up your own, that was millions and millions of dollars just trying to get everything up and running. But nowadays, you got OBS, you got a decent computer, go for Gold Slugger.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all that's left. It's awesome.
No, it's crazy. Like, the fact that I literally the start of Har Har HQ was me and Steven watching the Cloverfield Paradox
is Toarn
together.
dead? Oh, there he is.
I was about to say, hey, Toarn.
Is me and Steven watching the Cloverfield Paradox after it launched, and having a discussion about it, and just kind of both going like, we both want to do podcasts. Why not start with a movie podcast? And we created the channel, started Critically Casual, and then from there we started this podcast and picked up Jay and Soy for T-Pop, and then Toarn joined in,
Which stands for Third Player Optional, in case you're Third Player Optional Podcast.
Yes.
In case you're confused.
It's our gaming podcast. And
That
makes
a lot more sense.
It does. Which you're will you fuck off, Toarn? But like, one, your guys' logo is fucking awesome now with the blinking third person on there. Like that's awesome. I love that. Like, mine was way more complex, and yours is simple but sleek and cool. Like, I like it. I love it. The fact that Steven has made it into our Twitter banner with all 3 of our podcasts on there now is pretty fucking cool. And just like seeing the growth, like Steven went from having very little knowledge from like photoshopping, like what we were doing, like graphics and stuff like that, to pretty much making all the graphics on the show for my podcast and his. Like, it's crazy. And it's nice. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it is a godsend if you have a competent graphics designer like on tap, because I did all my work and mine looks like a 3rd grader. It's not fun to look at all. It's really sad.
But it's nice to just have that option, and the fact that Jay also has experience with that, and you're able to just take everything you need to do for yours. It's just such a godsend, honestly.
No, for sure.
I feel like Jay was gonna say something, but he got distracted.
Well, yeah, because our chat is our chat. So.
I'm choosing to ignore Toarn right now, and Frankie, because
it's not just them. I'm about to say it's not just them two you need to be ignoring either.
If anything, I'm the victim here.
He
This one is not on
fucking-
me. This one is
He's not entirely wrong. He's not entirely wrong.
Oh, okay, that's what's going on. I thought you were. I don't know. I assumed I saw Toarn talking in chat, and I assumed he was talking shit. So
No, he was talking shit.
he started with talking shit, and then I read
but-
what happened after.
Yeah, no,
So my bad.
progressed. Very.
So in other
No,
news,
to say that Jay has experience, what I was gonna say, to say that I have experience in this is putting it maybe a little more
well, but
Sell
you're
yourself
willing to.
glorious.
You're
than-
willing to have the experience to do it.
Yeah,
you know
no,
what
I
mean?
will absolutely try at it, and thank you for the compliments on the T-pop opening screen.
Yeah, dude, it's cool.
As
I
for
mean,
what the effects actually are, it took way longer than it should have.
I mean, but it's your first time doing that, which is the cool thing. Like,
yeah,
your
and it
first
still needs
draft.
updated because I actually don't like how the background looks still, because it blinks way too noticeably. So I'm either gonna make that a still image or I'm just gonna animate my own. I don't do yet.
that's fair.
I'll honestly probably animate my own because I have ideas about how to do it. It's just gonna be
Pain.
painful to do it. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like the fact that now, like Steven, he's doing our YouTube thumbnails as well on there. So because like we're finally on fucking YouTube, we're actually doing that now.
Which was great.
I understand. I understand the sex appeal about like making a thumbnail. But like, come on, guys! Like, let's not do that.
I don't know what you're referring to, sir.
You know exactly what I'm referring to.
What?
No,
I don't make. I'm not in control of the thumbnails.
I have a feeling that you full well knew.
No, actually,
because
Steven does all the
I-
thumbnails 100% on his own. I don't touch any of the thumbnails. Like that is
Have you
100% just him.
seen the one for Critically Casual?
Yeah.
Dude, you're the
See,
boss.
that's what
Fuck.
Everything is your fault. That's the way it works.
Wait, are you acting surprised right now at that? Like, are you just now
I hate
noticing
him.
it?
I fucking hate that fucking motherfucker.
Wow.
Motherfucker. He can't. Like, okay, I'm gonna point
Right
something
hand
out.
don't know what the left is doing, apparently.
No, listen here. At TwitchCon, Steven took this awesome photo of Hyperflop, our friend, our Dane friend. That was really cool. And then me and Sawyer are like, hey, do you have any photos of us you could do that with? The one he got from me is yelling, and the other one he got for Soy is like that, like turning. And he's like, here you guys go. You can use those as your profile pictures now. Literally, both of us are like, the fuck, man? Like, you fucking dickhead.
It was, like, Steven has this side of him to where he just wants to watch the world burn.
He
And
does!
this is where Dev is so vindicated now. It's like he's known about this side of Steven for years. To have somebody else say it. But no, this is really shining through in the thumbnails because, yeah, when you're looking for those moments, like it's not accidental when you have moments like that. When you're a person who is going through and editing and designing stuff like that, you are looking for
You know
something
the worst
specifically.
point
And once you
part?
found it, like you found it.
The worst part is I made sure during the podcast to do the pose from both the posters, just real quick to see if he caught him. And he goes with that. Like, just so you guys can see what the fuck we're talking about. What the fuck, Steven? When you get to this point, what the fuck, man?
See, I like it how I'm the star of last week's Har Har.
Yeah, right?
How-
I'm the fucking host, and he chooses two of you.
because I actually think both pictures, if I'm not mistaken, are both where I'm not even remotely paying attention to either of you, and I am watching Overwatch League.
No, I know exactly what moment that is.
Like, oh no, wait, no, the zoomed in one is when I was giving you shit. I remember
Yes.
this now.
Yes. We're giving me shit.
Oh,
I'm
my
fully aware of
God.
when it was. Lackluster my ass, fucker. God.
And that's actually not even the right. Apparently, that's not the right.
Yeah,
So-
it shot me a 404.
Of course, then if you look actually to the T-pop one from 6 days ago, it looks like me and Toarn are trying to have an intellectual conversation. like I don't know what I don't know what these posts are.
It's your aliens pose. It's your aliens pose.
Oh yeah, that's right. We were talking about that.
So
That's where that because Kaver wasn't actually a part of that conversation.
No,
but I did.
I came in late to the game on this. Yes, no.
So
you're
in our
absolutely
Discord,
correct.
Steven decided that he was going to edit Jay into the dude who says aliens. And instead it was going to be video games. Because it just worked out really well. I'll go with the second one since that's what the consensus wanted. But this is what Steven made.
Your ring light is very much
I noticed.
glaring on
Hold
it.
on. There we go.
There you go.
You got a champ.
Like
Is
that's
that-
actually a legit edit. Like,
It's not bad at all. Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoy this.
It's Jay.
Because
Even the
first
skin
one-
tone is right. What the fuck, dude?
Well, the first one actually, that's the thing, is like the skin tone, like around where my face was put in, was noticeably lighter, and so then he's like, here's a better one, and I'm still getting caught up on everything, and I see that one, and I go, I can't be mad at that.
So like from now on, it's just like
that is
video games.
that is awesome.
It's fucking good. I will say, Steven does happen to find the funny moments to just be like, there we go. Like
Say there's no just happening to it, like it's by design. Like
he's very
seeked
like
it out.
I'm pretty sure he has those things where he's just like in his head he just has like a notepad open and it's like, at this point in the podcast, this is the thumbnail.
No,
Well-
see, that Davis, it's all in his head. It's all in his
No,
head.
we do kind of give Steven shit when he
This
does
is-
show up on
this
stream.
is very fair.
So I feel like this is kind of
So,
where he gets his
He is
revenge.
now in a
Like-
position. He is now in a position where
Shit.
I'm the lone editor, fuckers. The rest of you are lazy cunts. So I'm just gonna make this the thumbnail.
well, maybe I will take up additional editing duties now. Because this was offered to me at one point, and I'm like, I mean, so long as Steve's willing to do it, I mean, I'm cool with it. And now I'm seeing where the trend is going.
Mhm.
I will say
don't-
though, Steven is good at finding those fucking meme ass moments. Which, by the way, I don't even think Steven's picture in the thumbnail from this week's Critically Casual was taken during the podcast. I'm pretty sure he took it afterwards. 'Cause one,
Like he went searching for it from some other.
no, he probably
recording?
did this. He set the camera up, did the pose, and then snapped it. off
Oh,
of
you're
it.
talking about his.
His
Okay.
pose. My pose is from that podcast. Because that's me whining about the fact that we have to watch Alice in Wonderland this weekend.
Ooh, have fun with that.
Yeah, I was supposed to say.
Not a
Are you
big
guys
fan.
watching?
Bonus points if you do acid before it, man.
Are you guys? Oh wow, wow.
I
What?
prefer shrooms. It's more natural.
Oh, fair enough. Okay. You about that all organic, free range, grass fed?
Log fed. I prefer log fed. You can taste the difference.
Chasing, I would almost consent to like a Brokeback Mountain pose just to see how Jay responds. Like,
You will literally
Because-
get Jay taking a video being like, fuck you guys.
like again, I'm somewhat uncomfortable with that, but not to the level that I know that be. And so I would even like pose for that. Like just so I could see like Jay's response after it's edited with him in it.
my
So, like,
I love it.
Oh shit.
Steven, if you were here, you would be able to like this would be your time. But
No, he's gonna see all of this and be like, I have.
I was about to
much
say,
work
once
with.
again, we just covered this point. He's the lone goddamn editor.
He gets access to all this and goes like, this is what I'm gonna do.
All right, well, get back to me. 'Cause if you can find one frame of Jay that works, I will pose to fill it.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Steven has also a lot of work cut out for him because he's going through all of our old Critically Casual videos because he's recorded every single one. There's like 70-something videos of it.
What the fuck?
Dude, right? There's probably closer to 60-something. But maybe something. Okay, there might be 70-something due to technical difficulties where we had to restart the stream, which restarts his recording. So he's had, has like multiple files for the same podcast at different points. But he's going back and going through all of that because the thing about Critically Casual is we have a rating system and we want to make a huge kind of some sort of document so that people can look at it and see what our ratings have been for all the movies we've done. And so people can, so we actually have a review system set up for people to be able to check, our opinions on that stuff. So like, bless his soul for going through some of that shit. Cause like I know one particular podcast where we lost the first half of it, due to technical difficulties. And it's one of the best ones. It's the Death Note podcast, where it's one of our first clips on the channel. It's me yelling about Death Note movie because how much I fucking hate that film, and how dumb it is.
I almost wish that was still a new thing, just so I could hear you rant about it more.
Me and Steven have an idea for something that we may do.
Some of the most entertaining shit I've ever heard from you.
If anyone makes as bad as a film as that, you'll hear it. Because, like, one, it takes place in Seattle, which, if you don't know, I like Seattle. It's my favorite city. It's where all my sports teams are from. So when all of a sudden you have a bunch of high schoolers running away from the rain in Seattle, I question if you actually know what Seattle is. Because no high schoolers or people in Seattle are running from the rain. They see it and it's like, oh, it's raining again. Because it's always raining. So suddenly when an entire school of kids are like, oh shit, it's raining, and running back inside, I question if you've ever been to the city. And they never took a shot of the goddamn Space Needle, which is a requirement if your city takes place in Seattle. Like taking a picture of the goddamn Empire State Building. You have a shot of the city skyline. And they did none of it. They used the goddamn Ferris wheel. It's not an establishing shot for Seattle.
I'm about to say, I didn't even know Seattle had a reputable Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
That.
But so do a lot of major cities. Vegas has one. Los Angeles has one. Fucking London has a giant Ferris wheel. Come on. It's not that uncommon. Why is that your landmark of choice?
Well, I feel like Seattle thinks it's a relevant city in the United States.
It is.
It's not.
What?
I'm calling you out, Washington. It's not.
Fight.
I'm more confused as to why you think that.
Because I'm not from Seattle. Because I'm not from that area. That's the only reason you think that would be like me saying that Louisville is a.
Well, everyone knows Louisville is not that relevant.
Exactly,
Wow.
because you're not from Kentucky. From my standpoint, Louisville would be.
No, but
But it's not.
Hang on. Dev, say
Despite
Louisville.
being the home of bourbon, despite being the home
it's
of
not
the
that.
Kentucky Derby, Louisville is
Derby.
not.
Dev.
Kentucky Derby.
Louisville is not a major metropolitan area to anyone other than Caver because everyone else is not from Kentucky. Seattle doesn't matter on the grand scheme of things.
I'm about to say the only reason why Orlando matters is because of Disney World.
Exactly. Orlando's on the same scale. Orlando really actually doesn't matter.
It
Like
doesn't-
Seattle is I know that it's somewhere out in the Northwest. I kind of was guessing and hoping that it was in Washington when I said that. I wasn't even sure about that. I thought it might have been in Oregon. That's how little that Seattle, from someone who isn't from that area, matters. Like the Space Needle isn't even the tallest building in the world anymore.
Dude, Dev is fucking fuming right now. Look at him.
Well, no,
He's
the
burning
big
on
thing
the
about it
inside.
is,
He's dying.
on the west side of the United States, it's one of the most culturally diverse. Here I'm very like. There's a
Look
lot
at all
of-
this. Look at all this content I've just created. Go on, Dev.
I don't want to give you the satisfaction,
Turn
but
the
at the
key.
same
Well,
time,
see,
my
you will
pride,
because this is a compulsion.
my pride. But you've also got like Boeing, which most of their stuff goes through there. You've got,
Jason,
Nintendo.
that's like the state of Kentucky in general. Like that's just a fact.
Like you've got Nintendo, which owns the part of the fucking Mariners there. They work through Seattle. That's where one of their major, like in that area, they work there. You have
Louisville is the major hub for UPS. Oh.
yeah, and it shows
You're
it's
always
all, like,
gonna find something to make you.
That is the
But
That
it's
is-
not. But it's
that-
not.
that is the most mundane flex I've ever heard. We're the
Exact-
hub for mail.
Exactly. Well, that's my point.
That's
Is that is
the point.
Boeing is like such an off the wall company to like say that you're like important in, but Seattle is not important. If you said like you were like, hey,
How is Boeing
this-
not important?
I mean, they're important in the news now.
Well, it's
But
not
is
just
it
that. They
Boeing,
created-
Boeing or UPS, which is more prevalent?
Boeing.
No,
In the,
not at all.
Not
What
even
planes
just in the
do
United.
UPS use?
Yeah,
All of them.
they use
Boeing.
Like,
How many people? How many people have flown compared to how many people have bought things?
Are we talking UPS? Because UPS is U.S. based. Boeing is international based.
Not anymore. Have you seen the news? Not anymore.
Their other planes are still in the fucking air.
Yeah, their new planes are kind of they're sea based now. But
Fair.
Their new
other-
their new plane is a fucking just drives on the ground. It doesn't fly anymore. So Boeing
But
is
they
done.
still have plenty of other planes in the goddamn air right now.
As at like, listen, dude, don't talk to me about Boeing. I used to work on the V-22, which is a Bell Boeing joint operation. I know all there is to know about Boeing. I almost kind of worked for them. They're not that great.
I'm not saying I'm not defending Boeing. I'm just saying that they have importance on an international scale, while UPS, for the most part, is pretty much just in the U.S.
Yes. But no one outside of the Northwest cares about Seattle.
I've met plenty of people.
I mean, "Hello Seattle" by Owl City's pretty cool. I like that song.
Where's
I've
he
met plenty
from?
of people from. Other,
I don't know. I know, dude.
I've met plenty of people from other places who are like, yeah, I want to move to Seattle
how-
because like
I love how Spicy's trying to be nice and just.
Just trying to
Get
act.
some-
What did I shit in your
Get
goddamn
Spicy
face?
out from under him by
You
You
Spicy.
invited me for a reason.
Spicy, there's no need to be like a mediator. We're not actually like I actually
fuck
don't
did I
give two
do,
shits about
Toarn?
whether Seattle is important or not. This is just for
Why are
good
you
content.
attacking me though? Like, what, did I shit in your goddamn Cheerios this morning?
Because Dev, I have found that you're most entertaining when you're offended. So I'm actually helping you is what I'm doing here. See, exactly. See, my masterpiece. My masterpiece.
Live stream fails. Here we come.
I haven't broken anything yet. Let's be honest. This isn't my stream.
Are you sure?
So, what about some wacky ass news, right, guys? So, okay, I'll be honest. You want to know why I chose?
Nice transition.
Thank you.
Good time.
The reason why I chose this one is because last week we talked about a meme that's going on called the Florida Man Challenge, where you look back and see on the date you were born, not like year, but just the day on your birthday, what Florida Man news story has come up, you know?
Florida man.
Florida Man.
It's
Like,
great. Like Google search Florida man and then
your birthday.
like the month and day.
Wow, how am
Of
I
your
only
birthday.
just now hearing about this?
Well, if you watched
Dude,
the Har Har
same. That was-
podcast,
that-
you would have seen
That was
it.
my reaction last week though. Like that's the thing.
Some of us have jobs, Dev.
I have a job
Like,
too. I work 40
my
hours a week. What the fuck are
My
you talking
Florida
about?
man story was actually so
Just giving you
great.
a hard time.
Like it was so appropriate, especially since I aired it was found on this podcast where I drink most of the time. And it was Florida man wasn't drinking while driving, only at stop signs.
We have Florida man faked robbery so he wouldn't have to work at Hardee's.
This is probably a really bad time to bring up how I'm from Florida. I'm just gonna.
So this guy in the article, like, do you know him? Or like,
Holy,
what?
holy fuck! Holy Florida man climbs on playground equipment. Tell children where babies come from.
Yours takes the cake. There we go. All right.
Oh my god.
Oh
But,
my
like,
god.
one, I had to choose it because Florida man. Like, as soon as I saw the title, it was like, that's
I-
our wacky news story.
I need to send you guys
Can
the
we get rid of
picture.
this guy's face on our podcast, please?
I need to send you guys the picture that's like
I'll scroll up.
tied
Sorry.
tied to this story of to go telling children where babies come from.
What the actual
I can't.
What?
Send it. Whisper it to DorkyDev on Twitch. Whisper it to me there.
Oh my god.
This is terrifying.
I'm gonna switch screens while I
Actually
open this, by the way. So.
It's honestly like a great value Mike Tyson kind of.
No,
I
I
wor-
think Mike Tyson's more tame than this.
Where did you find this guy?
I googled Florida man May 22nd, my birthday, and
You know what? Why don't I?
okay.
God damn it.
That's all it is.
This would be.
What'd you say? May 22nd?
Yeah, that's my birthday.
Oh no, Florida! Stop.
this
Stop.
guy's.
Oh, there we
I
go.
gotta scroll off of this guy. This guy's just scary to look at.
Yeah, this guy climbed onto like playground equipment and told children where babies came from.
Jesus. That. He's got the third eye, man. Like,
God damn it.
Yeah, chat. Look at this guy. Look at the.
okay, so he's
Yeah,
got.
look, stay on the picture. Like,
Oh no, I'm trying to decipher. He's got the Egyptian what is it? The thing that Ra holds on his face. He's got the, third eye which Goatien. I don't know what the rest of that is though.
fucked up is what it is.
Yeah, a little bit of a lost cause.
Uh, I'm sorry I doubted everyone. I understand the Florida man challenge now. I'm sorry I doubted. What the fuck?
I can't remember what mine was from last week.
Found guilty and fined $118.
Man, the only reason why Florida Man exists is because of the Sunshine Act. Y'all know you got some crazy people where you live too, all right?
Oh, no, yeah.
on a second.
But
The crazy people where we live know to keep it in the fucking hills, okay, where no one can find out.
Well, no. So here's the difference with Florida. I've looked into this too. Apparently, there's like a state bill called the Sunshine Act, where it's basically freedom of information, except it's like way less red tape. You want literally anything, like literally anything. You just ask someone, they give it to you, like that. So if you want a good story, just go through the freaking sheriff's office. It's easy as fuck. And that's why Florida Man is such a huge fucking deal. Well, we also have the snowbirds and everything else. Land.
Hell, where we live,
Regardless.
you don't need a legislative act to do that. You just gotta know somebody.
But to publish it though?
No, you just gotta
Yeah.
ask. You just gotta ask the
Literally
person.
just
Like
ask them.
people aren't smart enough to realize that what they're doing should not be mentioned. Like that. Like, oh yeah, I fucked
Like-
a porcupine last week. That's no
like,
big deal.
I
It's
would
nothing.
I would be so bold as to say that every so often around half of the arrests happen because morons will self-incriminate themselves on their Facebook.
Okay, that's pretty funny actually.
It's yeah, in hindsight, when you're looking at it as it happened, it's like, wow.
Have you ever seen Beverly Hillbillies?
Yeah, I watched the movie at least. I didn't watch the show.
Yeah, actually.
Just imagine that without the money, and that's kind of what you get.
Shit.
You know, I would love to sit here and argue that. I mean, I really would.
But
I
you
can't.
can't.
Him sitting there.
I
can't fight this.
I really can't. Toarn, you're muted again. I don't know if you meant to.
It's intentional. I'll be right back.
But yeah, like I don't think. Now here's the thing. I don't think everybody from our area is like Beverly Hillbillies without money. It's a good 45%.
45. That's a decent ratio right there.
It's enough it's enough of a difference to where it's only those morons that get interviewed by national reporters.
Fair enough.
Like,
well, that's like
I see some of these people that get interviewed, and it's like you legitimately wonder why Kentucky gets so much shit.
I mean, like when I lived in Arizona,
you
it's the same
asshole.
way. Like, I think with other places, like as far as I've seen, I haven't seen a lot of that. Like at least where I live in Central Washington, I hear Eastern Washington is far more like that, but it's also closer to Idaho, so there's less shit to do. So other than go to a volcanic monument that will eventually erupt and kill everyone. But
I already did once.
Which will make it another monument.
The next species of the world. Humans used to come here all the time. We don't know why.
Pompeii 2.0.
Dude, this is like, okay, can I point something out? Because
see, only in that version of Pompeii, rather than people actually running from it, you're gonna have morons with their cell phones out, like just petrified.
well, we're dying. Well, I'll say this.
Well, we're gone. Might as well get some good content from it.
I'll say this because if you believe the Earth is billions of years old theory, that at the time when Yellowstone blew up last is the same time that the meteorite that wipes out the dinosaurs happened, and it's just this collateral event at the same time that's just like, hey, you know how shitty it would be if on top of a meteorite hitting and destroying a lot of shit, he also got the biggest volcanic eruption ever at the same time to encompass the Earth in ash and smoke. So good luck, all species on the planet at this point. Later.
What the fuck did I walk into?
Yellowstone blowing up.
Yellowstone blowing up.
Apocalyptic events.
With Yellowstone blowing up and the
And the entire West Coast, like, just non-existing anymore?
More or less, yeah.
I'm fucked. Because if
Okay,
that
Kentucky's on, I think, one of the world's, if not the world's largest fault line. If that sucker ever goes active.
So,
we
I
have
think
a
this is a
problem.
good time to talk about the succession. Who gets Har Har if you die, Dev?
probably, well, it would probably go down the order of like
Steven's dead too, so it doesn't matter.
Chain of command.
Jay and Soy would probably have to go as well because one, Jay hosts the podcast. Frankie, shut the fuck up. You motherfucker. I'm your son. I'm the son. That's Dork Nation. Completely different. That's not here. But I think it would have to go down the pecking order of things. So
I'm behind Soy when in the pecking order.
he was here first.
I'm a host. He's not.
You guys have been. You had about the same amount of time hosting right now, though.
Listen. I love Soy, but this is actually where I gotta side with Toarn on this one.
I'd say you guys are
Yeah.
about the same spot. If
Like-
anything, maybe co-ownership
Like
if Jay goes too.
Soy right now is behind Toarn.
So if we're at the same spot, according to Dev, that means that when I Har Har next week, I'll be in the lead. That's what I'm hearing.
You're about you're about like we don't have enough odds to go back and check. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm not having
Everyone
this-
heard it. Everyone saw it. It's on stream. It's on.
Whatever. Anyways, back to the apocalypse.
I feel this needs to be established.
Fuck you.
Wow.
Soundboard me, asshole! Is that what you said?
That needs to be a soundboard. Did you just soundboard me, asshole?
Oh, fuck. But no, going back to the apocalypse. I'm in between.
Why?
I didn't get to explain the thing I wanted to say beforehand, alright? I am in between where Yellowstone is and Mount St. Helens and Mount Rainier are, which both are dormant, but you know, they're but dormant's not.
That seems like a bad life decision to me.
Yeah.
For the record, me and Gaver have
away.
both invited you to like the safe, happy greenscapes of Kentucky.
Fuck tornadoes.
We don't have tornadoes.
They're actually, yeah, they're very, very rare where we are.
Tornadoes are not a thing here.
Anyways,
So-
Okay,
No
no,
excuses.
like I don't want you to get sold a false bag of goods. They're very, very, very rare.
okay. So they're essentially like everywhere else.
He just ignores us.
No, I'm not ignoring it. I'm pointing out like they're very rare in pretty much anywhere else that you know.
We
Same,
Florida
you know.
actually gets them on the regular. At least where I'm from.
Yeah,
It's
Are,
pretty bad.
are you from Florida, Sheep?
Okay, so that's a weird question because I am from Florida, but not the Florida you're thinking of. I'm from the Panhandle.
What other kind of Floridas are there?
Okay, so there's,
People think
there's
Florida,
the-
they think
there-
the
oh,
shaft.
wait. There's the crazy ass Florida that's down south. You got
Yeah,
like
if
the
you
Cubans,
follow the
you got,
shaft
like the metropolitan
of,
areas. You
Florida, you've got
yeah.
the shaft.
So you're
of-
by. So what you're saying is you're by Pensacola.
Why the fuck would you say that? You son of a bitch!
He's only upset because I'm right.
I live in Pensacola.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch! God damn it!
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
Someone clip that shit.
No.
Fucking called it.
Oh, no. Oh shit! How did you read that? God damn it! Toarn! Oh, this is gonna pop up like years later. Hey, I got this guy's information. I'll be like, ah.
Torn, you're drunk. Go home.
Frankie, if I were really drunk, I wouldn't have been able to call that. I would have been like, "So you're from like Guantanamo or something?" I don't know.
God.
I think Guantanamo would have had too many syllables.
Exactly.
You
The
know
fact
what?
that I can say Guantanamo shirt. Oh my god! Now I'm having trouble.
You fucked it up that much?
As soon as he doxes me, oh, my job is complete.
We're just, wait.
My job is done.
Fuck.
Fuck, man. I'm pissed.
I mean, I've said where I am. I'm in Central Washington. I'm in Wenatchee. It's, you know, it's the Apple capital of Washington. Apple capital.
Well done.
I mean, that's
I'm
our
gonna-
biggest export in the state is apples.
I'm only going to say where I'm from because I know it's going to get Frankie excited. I'm from Moorhead, Kentucky.
Phrasing? Is phrasing still a thing?
That's a little
No.
greedy, don't you think?
It's not phrasing. That's just the name.
Moorhead.
Fucking
Moorhead.
Moorhead. Spelled
Like, how-
exactly as you
Yeah,
think.
exactly those two words, how they're spelled in one word.
Jesus Christ.
God, yeah, people are dumb naming stuff. Fuck.
I am a graduate student at Moorhead State University. To our
That's-
work on
This
satellites.
sounds
or the
like you would be
Moorhead
utterly full of
Space
shit,
Science Center.
but you actually can Google all of this. It is 100% true.
So,
I'm so alone.
I believe you, and that's the problem.
you guys
Right.
like bagels?
What the fuck?
Bread.
What the
You
fuck?
guys like bagels?
I'm afraid to answer, if I'm being honest.
Just answer.
Yes. I like bagels with all the cream cheese.
How do you cut your bagels?
Like the bagel's round, like this, and then you cut it this way.
I just like to make bagel bites because I'm poor as fuck and it makes me feel like I'm eating more food.
Okay. Would you... I don't have a response to that.
Okay.
I
Wow.
don't have a response to that. That threw me off for a moment, I'll admit. Would you cut your bagels like thus?
No.
No.
This lady bought a bunch of bagels and had the place slice them downward for her office.
You know, that
There's
kind of makes sense.
There's a level of evil that I've not yet achieved, and now I found it.
That kind of makes sense. Yeah, because it's like scuffed bagel bites.
But
Start
at the
to say
same
maybe
time,
there was a party,
Well,
but you didn't know.
no, bagel bites are still cut normally. They're just small bagels.
No. I said scuffed bagel bites.
I don't know what scuffs means.
Well, scuffed as in like they're like budget, great value, if you will. You're getting more bagels out of one bagel. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's fair, but like, why? It's like, I love some of the things below this, by the way, because you scroll down.
That's like saying that you get more steaks out of hamburger because it's shredded. Like it
I love
doesn't
some
work.
of these that people memed off of it too.
What You are
Like-
able to serve more people because more people can get.
Consider cake St. Louis style. What the fuck?
And then you got soup.
I can't justify that. What?
You got
Oh.
cereal, St. Louis style. I love when the internet latches onto shit and it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Because people
Is
do
this-
shit like that.
Is this our second crazy story of the
No,
stream?
this isn't crazy. This is just funny.
Oh,
I
okay.
wanted to talk about it.
No, it's funny because it's crazy. Like let's be honest.
It's not
for a
crazy.
minute.
It's not crazy in the sense of Florida Man. It's more crazy in the sense of
That's true. That's true. This is more funny than crazy.
Do we
by
have
that
any
comparison.
information on her justification for why she did that?
that's just how she bought them.
But
She
like,
asked them
I
to do it
introduced
that
my
style.
coworkers to the St. Louis secret of ordering bagels.
If you make a
red
point
slice.
of like asking them to cut it that way, like there's some thought process that goes into that.
Yeah, and I think
And
the
I
thought
need to know what that
process
is.
like I'm gonna piss somebody off. I think that is the thought process. That is the thought
But
process
I need to
in its
know,
entirety.
does St. Louis actually do this? Like,
Is anyone here from St. Louis?
no. The moment I meet someone from St. Louis, I'm asking, how the fuck do you eat your bagels?
So tell me about your bagels.
See, here's the thing: if they take this the way I'm assuming people would take it, it would just they would not want to talk about it because it's like, oh my god, you know.
How do they eat their bagels? In misery.
Oh, I hate you. I fucking hate you.
Yeah,
That was
now you're
so
getting
bad.
it.
Oh god.
But it's so true.
That was that was good. Like that was a good pun. And I hate you for it. And that was what the fuck, Toarn?
Dev's like last 5 seconds was like every follower I had on Twitch.
That's every one
Like-
of my followers too, let's be honest.
I hate that I'm following you, but I have to. I hate that I'm following
the amount of people who I've done that, like one of my favorite ones is I was playing Wind Waker and I picked up Midna, the Rito girl. I was like, hey
Yep.
guys, this is how you pick up chicks. And just deadpanned the camera for a good like 20 seconds going like, you get it? Pick up.
That was so bad.
Chicks.
Kaver left.
I hate you.
Honestly, I saw Cameron.
It's still one of my favorite clips I've ever had. It's but puns like that are just beautiful. So when someone says one that bad, the only reaction as a true pun lover you can give is to groan about it because you realize that that's the only reaction they want. And as a fellow pun lover, it's all I can do because it's just like you can't laugh at that kind of pun because it's just so bad but good. That's the thing. I love puns. Thanks, guys. You know. Fuck. Hello. Is anyone there? Hold on. Hello? Is anyone there?
I was honestly hoping there was a cricket soundbite coming up.
I kind of wish I had one right now.
I was honestly.
Hey, Dev,
Oh.
set your record for like a hotkey.
I can record things. I just have to hold the button.
All right, start it now. Fuck you, Dev. Fuck you, Dev.
And
Holy
delete. And now it's gone into the vault. No longer on the button. It still exists. I'll say this. It still exists. I have 3 fucking pages of this shit too. I get 4 per slot. So I have 4 different buttons I can hit and record off of. So it's kind of nice.
What the fuck, chasing?
Right? I just not caught up with this.
That is Chasing's go-to. The amount of time she's dropped that one every time we talk about puns and pickup lines in my
This is
chat.
the first time I've ever seen it. First time I had ever seen it.
That is her go-to. That is the signature Chasing. Hey guys.
I'm about to say I'm very flattered right
Are
now.
you sitting
I've
on the
never
F5
heard that
key?
before.
Yeah.
Is your hat-
The rest of us haven't been stalked as much as you have by chasing. So.
Wow! What the fuck? She's a member. She's my mod. What the fuck?
Sounds like a convenient excuse to me. I mean, like, what,
It does, dude.
I mean, I
That's
think
the
we
best
know
place for a
making
stalker to be. Is
more-
She cased you good, brother. Read you like a fucking book.
Does that mean Frankie's technically my stalker too now?
I mean, like anyone.
No, hey, back the fuck off. Frankie is my stalker. All right, step off. I'm pretty fucking drunk, so like claiming my territory is like, but Frankie is mine.
Alrighty then. All right. So, last major thing I had that I wanted to talk about, mostly because the article title is very misleading as to what it is actually
I'm
said.
property now.
Apparently, Frankie.
Sorry.
So, the title of this says, Jordan Peele on making movies after us. I don't see myself casting a white dude as the
Overpriced,
lead."
Frankie.
So, that's just one snippet of a sentence he says, okay? And this is more that I wanted to kind of point out in headlines and titles like this.
This is dangerous territory, Dev.
Hold on. Let me get to it. You want to know why it's so misleading? Because that's your title, right? You want to know where you get the rest of that fucking statement? Is all the way down here. I don't see myself casting a white dude as the lead in my movie. Not that I don't like white dudes, but I've seen that movie. It really only is one of the best. Like, he essentially talks about the fact that like he can create more representation for people of color, like with his films.
Okay, saying like not that I don't like white dudes, it's kind of like that Seinfeld episode where they're talking about gay people or whatever. It's like not that there's anything wrong with that.
But
You
like,
know, I feel like it's
I
kind
think
of
he,
mean.
I
I
think
think,
that
you
part
know,
of it is he realized what he said, how he said it.
Well, that's the thing too, because like when you actually see how this dude talks, when he's saying it's not that I don't like white dudes, he's not drawing attention to it. He's presenting it as in like this is just casual. It's like, listen, I mean, to state another obvious fact, it's not that I don't like white dudes. It's like this is my mission here, and
He has an opportunity.
I can
to
respect
respect
this.
Yeah, he has
Well,
he has an opportunity to give people who don't have that representation the opportunity to be represented. Film.
Well, at the end of that paragraph, it says a renaissance has happened and proved the myths about representation in the industry are false. Is he saying that like minority representation is not as bad as it like is portrayed
He's
to
talking
be?
about the fact that like the fact that we're in a renaissance and that it's starting to shift away from the false. Like those are eventually going to be myths. Is more what he's trying to refer to. Like he wants to be part of that movement who gets it from like from being like people talk about the fact that they're underrepresented and that there's equal, or that like people essentially he wants to change the game. He wants to make those myths. Like, if he has the opportunity to change the scope of film as we know it, which if given the opportunity, why not? And make it so that kids of the future, no matter your goddamn skin color or sex or anything, can feel like they can be in roles. These characters can relate more to film. I don't personally, I don't see a problem with it. And, you know, I know we're not exactly the best, you know, panel for this, given that we are 4 white dudes.
We're about as like non-diverse as you can be.
Yeah,
But-
we're pretty. We're even all of us are wearing hats. Like, come on, we look exactly the same. We're all
I'm not
wearing
wearing
black.
that.
We're all wearing
Yeah,
hats.
I was about to say,
Dev, how dare you wear a shirt of color? How dare you?
Oh shit!
The way you said that.
Dev assimilate.
I
Dev
actually-
assimilate.
I didn't even notice that until just now.
Yeah, we're all
anyways,
wearing black except for Dev. But
but the fact that, like, if he can change it so that people can see themselves in these roles, because let's be honest, he's right. White dude in scary film has been done God knows how many times. Like, the opportunity for the next generation to look up at the movie screen and be like, hey, they look like me. They can be me. I can be them, kind of thing.
That makes sense.
He wants to create that because, like, let's be honest,
Okay.
there is that problem. Like, people do feel unrepresented in film because, I mean, right now, like, we are in the renaissance of people trying to change that narrative, and if we can make those into myths, you know, that the representation isn't there, why not? Like, why not do something good like that? Why not, you know, give people the opportunities that they deserve? Like, some people are saying, you know, like, well, what if, you know, they're a good actor at this role and you choose someone, you know, of color for the role instead? But if they're that good, they're gonna land another gig anyways.
Let's say, well, and I don't think anyone would be to say it. I don't think anyone would be dumb enough. Anyone worth their salt wouldn't be dumb enough to just put color in it. Like, I mean, if you can't act the role, then, you know, you're
Well,
not
that's the
gonna
thing.
get
If you look at like, Get Out is a fantastic film. Like, having just watched Get Out and Us over the weekend, they're both really good films, and they make you, you know, kind of, because the Get Out has a lot of just, he talks about it being, you know, the fact that in America because he wrote it during the Obama administration, so he talked about the fact that, like, there's this underlying racism that was still there, but wasn't out in the open like it used to be, and that, like, people were much more reserved about it, but, like, it still existed. Like, if you watch it, you understand it more. I listened to some of his commentary on it, and he's way better at explaining this shit than I ever will be. So if you ever get the opportunity to listen to some commentary on his films, do it. But he essentially talks about the fact that, like, his character that he created for Get Out is in a situation where he is the minority and everyone else there is literally trying to, you know, he's in a very bad situation, and it's supposed to kind of represent the fact that, like, in America at that time, there was an underlying kind of building tension with, you know, racism in America at that time, which we did see kind of surface, and that's why he changed the ending and stuff like that. He talks about this in the alternate ending take, and why he changed it. But so for Get Out, or for Us, he chose one, because Lupita, the main actress in that, she's fucking fantastic. Like, the fact that there's already, you know, Oscar buzz about it is it's not a surprise the way she does that role, because she does 2 very different roles and she does them so fucking well in that film that it's uncanny. But, like, and it's not like he's not casting white people in his film. He passed goddamn Tim from Tim and Eric's Awesome Show in that show. Like, talk about someone who's pasty as fuck. Let's be honest. But, like, if given the opportunity to, you know, change the narrative, why not? Like, that's my opinion on it. If you can create the world to be better, and you're given essentially the keys to do that, why not take the opportunity, you know? Like, fuck. I mean, if you could change one bad thing, right? Or make one thing better for everyone. Wouldn't you? Unless you want to see the world burn and you slice your bagel sideways.
It's efficient.
Anyone who's right-minded slices their bagel sideways.
I
What
meant
are you
sideways
talking-
in the, like that. Sorry.
You mean vertically?
Yeah.
There you go.
Whatever. I think that is sideways because that's sideways.
And Toarn's the drunk one. Like, that's.
Shut up.
Well, I
Talk
mean,
about that for a second.
we need to look at bagels on a three-dimensional plane because if we slice them horizontally, they will also be sliced vertically because from the top down.
You guys are not looking at bagels from a holistic perspective. Man. You need to take like all
and
of
on that note,
their
I think I'm
dimensions.
done.
It's
Yeah.
true. You need to look at bagels from
Alrighty, guys.
three-dimensional perspective. I'll pull out the fucking hand motions and everything. It'll
Like
fucking great.
when there's philosophy talk centered around bagels, I think I'm gonna call it a night, boys. Like,
Well,
that's-
I was about to say we're
And
at
this
that time.
concludes Breaking J by Har Har Podcast.
All right. Fucking hell.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have broke Jay in.
I'm sorry, Jay.
No, you're fucking not. Don't lie to me. Don't you goddamn lie to me.
Spicy.
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
I do a lot of controversial shit. I do a lot of computer hacking. Weekends get absolutely nuts on my channel. So if you want to figure out what that's about, go ahead and drop a follow. Appreciate you. BlackSheepSpicy on Twitch, on Twitter, on Instagram, probably somewhere else. I have no idea. I'm on HackerOne too. Haven't started that yet. Working on that. But other than that, DorkyDev, everyone else here, I really appreciate you having me on. It's a great time. Oh, one more thing. Sorry. I am the executive producer for Curly Chris's Barcast. So
Yes.
if you're interested on going on that, go ahead and hit me up and we'll see if we can get you on.
Yeah. Jay, you're up.
Appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah, of course.
Not a whole lot to plug.
Dude, you're awesome.
As of right now, you are, man. I will be getting back into the streaming thing, hopefully before too long. In the meantime, though, I will plug Third Player Optional T-Pop, also on the Har Har channel on Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern.
What am I doing? I like this.
No, you're gone. You're fucking
Oh.
gone.
Is that TOS?
Like, really, Toarn, for
Sorry,
better or
man.
worse, is my
I didn't mean to
co-host.
interrupt.
And once it comes back,
Should I even, Torn, other than your channel, do you have anything you want to... Or are you good?
Like Kaver said, I'm also. I'll let you guys figure out who is the responsible one in the situation.
It's kind of a
which is
toss
actually
up.
really funny, but yeah, I was about to say we are both drunk. Well, that's the thing.
Yeah. So if you've only ever seen me here, you may be surprised to know that I actually stream a lot of like engineering stuff. So like my main game that I stream is World's Drift. And I play a lot of stuff like that. So feel free to drop by. Like Kaver, I haven't streamed on my own channel in a while, but I am hoping to get back into that soon.
Do you stream Space Engineers at all?
So I have before. I actually have. I think I streamed it once. I do have Space Engineers, but I haven't.
Ooh,
Yeah.
we got to do something with that because I have 800 hours. We could probably
Okay.
have some fun on there.
Yeah,
Holy
so we can do that.
fuck.
Fuck
well,
yeah, dude.
Yeah, because that's kind of my thing, like Space Engineers, and what was the other one
You
we
will
did?
have a guest on the hardcore game night.
Because, but wait, that's what I do. Twitch.tv/Toarn, Twitter.com/Toarn, or YouTube.com/Toarn. You can find me on all of those.
Yes. So you can find him at places like that. And I'm your host, DorkyDev, but you know that. I mean, you're here. I'm DorkyDev on everything. Make sure you follow us on YouTube as well. We're starting to post the podcast there. So about 2 days after every show, you can catch it there if you missed it. So thank you. I'm also on Critically Casual with Steven, Shriekuff 5, or Shriekuffs, on Sundays at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And you can always catch us here, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Thursdays for this podcast, the Har Har Podcast. With that, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye! Bye.